Greetings and salutations, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well today. Today I've got 2 Carolina subscriber encounters, one from North Carolina and one from South Carolina. Before we get into those encounters, a couple links I'd like to share. As you know, I rely on my Patreon, my PayPal, and my merch to help this channel to continue to grow and go. All those links are in the description below. I also have a second channel for creepypasta, fanfiction, and scary voice acting. Stories, well, they really don't fit on this channel. Now, if that's anything that you're into, follow that link and give those stories a listen. But now I've taken enough of your time, so let's get on with today's subscriber encounters. Shall we? Tonight's first subscriber encounter. My first encounter happened when I was 4 years old. I was sleeping and got woken up by the sound to see a large, dark, wolf-like creature looking into my window. The bottom of the window is 6 feet off of the ground. The head filled the middle to the top, 8 to 9 feet tall. Bright amber-colored eyes, very white teeth, very dark in color. I would guess black. It was backlit by the moon. My mother convinced me that it was a bad dream. That was my last encounter until 2016. I'm 50 years old now. In 2016, due to health problems, I had to stop working and apply for disability. Still have not gotten it. A friend of mine let me live on a few acres of undeveloped land along the Broad River in Union, South Carolina. I lived in the woods for a little over 2 years. My first encounter with the Dogman there happened on the 3rd evening, just before dark. I was making coffee and cooking some fish for dinner, and heard some movement behind me. Yes, I was aware of the dead silence that had suddenly descended around me, and my 110-pound pit bull had gone into full alert mode. She's my baby girl. That's when I noticed something wasn't right with the thick undergrowth in front of me. There were 2 reddish, orange, bright spots that shouldn't be there about 4 feet off of the ground. As soon as I made eye contact with this thing in the brush, the smell hit me like a ton of bricks. The loudest wet dog urine, dead meat, crap smell you can imagine might come close. Due to the previous mentioned health reasons, I can't run or fight for a long, bad heart. Right as the smell hit, the bone-shaking growling started. My poor baby girl went into full defense stance, though she was terrified as I was. But I don't react like most people. My flight or fight response always falls on the right side first. I don't know why. I've always just been that way. I've had my guesses as to why. I have to give my girl credit. She didn't just charge the threat, but she stood her ground and waited for my command. I trained her well. She was watching the one behind me, and I'm watching the one in front of us. My friend had just happened to have some bear spray left over from a trip to Alaska. 3 cans, 30-foot range or so, it said on the can. More like 15 on a good day, but pretty powerful. Mind you, there are a few, very few, black bear in that area. So, I was keeping a can close by. I was also tending my cook fire and had my camp axe in hand at that moment. My girl was on a leash. Can't break her from going after a deer. Can't blame her, I love deer meat too. Anyway, the one behind me must have made a move, 'cause she went full kill mode. At the same time, the one in front of me started forward. I was about 10 yards or so away. This particular brand of spray opens when you pull it from the belt clip ready to fire, so I pulled and fired. I didn't realize it was flammable. The one in front of me yelped and jumped to my right, missing his footing and rolling down the bank into the river. No, the flame didn't reach him. At the same time, the other one got within my girl's reach, but I guess the sudden burst of flame caused it to hesitate. She grabbed him on the leg at the same time I hit him in the face at point-blank range with the spray. That was in my left hand and quickly followed with the blunt side of my camp axe right on the foot. Between me and my dog, he fell face first onto the ground, a 400 to 500 pound faceplant almost into my fire. I dropped the spray and pulled my hunting knife with my left hand, struck him on the nose with the blunt side of my axe, and jumped onto his back using the hook of the axe and hook of his chin and laid my knife to its throat. Hoping he would understand me, I said, "Please don't make me kill you. I mean you no harm." To my absolute amazement, he relaxed and my dog let go and backed off, still on guard though. That's my first encounter up close and personal like. There's much more, but all this typing has aggravated some old injuries to my hand, so I have to stop for now. I'm open to a phone interview. Just let me know. Well, brother, I think you know that I want a phone interview with you, and I'm sure everybody else would like to hear what you have to say. I'm going to send out an email to you. Hopefully you're listening and you hear it and know that I want to have you on the program. I'm going to send an email. Just get back to me, brother. Tonight's second subscriber encounter comes to us from North Carolina. In 1993, during the year my boyfriend's mother was sick, we lived in Sunbury, North Carolina. We were sleeping in our area of his family's house that others of his family lived in as well. The house was big enough for us to have 2 rooms. One night my boyfriend's hunting dog was growling loudly. Something was in the chicken coop we had in the backyard. I got the rifle going to the door on my way to check it out. Must be the weasels, I thought, was going after the chickens again, so I better get a good shot, I thought. The dog is still growling. I get close to the chicken coop and I see this Dogman looking thing, but it's got one of my yard cats in its mouth. Mad, I get a hollow point in the rifle. I take a shot at this Dogman thing, and no one hurts my baby. Got the shot in the back near the shoulder blades, right side. It made a loud pop sound. I think bone messed up. The howl was loud. I turned to go back inside quickly and lock the door. Okay, not my best idea, but I got mad that one of my cats got killed. I love my outdoor cats. But now I know better to shoot them, but my temper got the best of me. I heard the Dogman outside the window. My boyfriend was still asleep, thank God for that. I went back to bed as the growling and howling for the hour till it stopped. In the morning, his father told me not to let the dogs in the yard howl all night again. The next night, after I shot at the Dogman, I got into a big fight with my boyfriend and slept on the sofa near the window he left open a crack during fall time. At midnight, I heard sniffling at the window. It was 5.5 feet off the ground. I froze on the sofa. I walk the woods after they take the corn in the field with my outdoor cats. This isn't good. But my dog was on the sofa with me, and he needed a bath. I smelled like him, so if that was good, I thought. My dog growled at the window, and he stood up on me. This 250-pound baby, it hurt. But the growl back went through both of us. I pushed my dog to lie down. Walking back and forth, growling till daylight, I knew the Dogman was gone when my cat was at the door crying for me. November of 1993, still deer hunting season. I told my boyfriend to keep the cooler that the deer blood fell into stay in the garage, but no, he left it outside. Skinned deer in the garage that night and left behind the garage. He found out why I asked. Came running inside after a hunting dog barked and growled to get the gun. I asked if it was back, and he said, "I don't care what it is, I'm going to get it to leave. Don't shoot it, then we have more time to visit, just stay inside, please." He didn't listen. Boom, boom, he runs inside, locks the doors. Hide now, he yells. I say, is the door to the chicken coop open? He looks at me with this what the fuck and says, yes. I say we hide from the window and count the chickens in the morning. 2 male roosters and 5 girl chickens left. I put them back in the coop, but felt the feeling of being watched. I was being watched by the fence, on all fours, a black Dogman just 800 yards away. I walked back to go inside for the rest of the day. My cats hid in the house, as I did in the house. That fall, we saw a lot of dogmen around the house or in the backyard till the first of the year in '94. I could tell you more from '95 if these aren't enough for now. Now, I know at the beginning I said I was only going to have a couple of subscriber encounters from North Carolina and South Carolina, but this next encounter, I messaged the subscriber to ask him to come on to the show and share his encounter. I'm going to revisit his encounter because he actually has a lot of outdoor experience, and I think he would make a wonderful guest on the channel, but he is afraid of ridicule, which is just, it's terrible that people have to be afraid of ridicule when they come on and share their encounters. I'm thinking about a way of getting around that, maybe just turning the comment section off, but I don't know. Hopefully people can, the majority of you guys are amazing, but hopefully the ones will just go away. Anyway, I seen something last night that has left me in question. I live near the county airport in Lee County, Virginia, Flatwoods, which is located at the end of Jonesville, Virginia. The time was around 8 p.m. I was heading to the gas station to pick up a tin of Grizzly. For those who don't know, it is a brand of snuff. Well, on occasion I smoke. As I had just crossed the bridge in front of my house, I went to flick the cigarette, and it came back into the car. I had to wait till I got to turn off to the airport before I could stop and find the still burning cigarette. There are no streetlights in the area, just the airport beacon light. The area is surrounded by a 10-foot chain-link fence with barbed wire running across. I get out of the car and immediately I hear coyote howling in the distance, which is normal here. I continue looking for a cigarette that's somewhere in my car burning my interior when I started hearing commotion behind me. I thought to myself, damn coyote are trying to sneak up on me. But it started sounding like one animal, but bigger than a coyote. The area behind the fence is nothing but small trees and bushes for a quarter of a mile until you reach the end of the runway. So I wouldn't see it until it got right up to the fence. I got back into the car just in case I was being stalked to keep from getting jumped by a pack of coyote. I turned off my interior light, and all I noticed behind the fence watching me was 2 amber-colored eyes and heard a very deep growl, but I also felt as if the sound resonated into the car as it was still running. I didn't get a good look at it, but I did notice it looked like it was standing up, just watching me, its eye shine. Again, there was no light, but judging by the size of the fence that I've stood by many of times watching planes take off, it looked to be close to 7 feet tall because I'm 6'2". And, like I said, I've stood by that fence a lot. I went to turn the car around so I could shine the lights on it for a better look, but as I was turning the car around, another vehicle passed by and it was gone. Could have been a big-ass coyote, but I've never seen one that big. I didn't hear any howls from it, nor have I seen or heard anything like that in this area, except for one Dogman sighting in Keokee, Virginia, which is 30 minutes northeast towards the Appalachian Mountains from where I was. Any idea what I was looking at? I want to go back and look for prints. I know the airport owner very well, and I can get clearance into that area. I've hunted coyote and watched them before, but I've never had an encounter with one that big and with a growl that deep. And those eyes. Never seen eyes like that. I want to add that I drove up the mile road leading to the airport and didn't see anything but a Dodge truck with foggy windows. I had an idea of the reason, so I just ignored the truck and drove back down the road trying to find the animal, but nothing. I used to hunt a lot back in the day before I gained a deep respect and love for nature and animals after protecting a fox den of pups from people who wanted to kill them. I'm a man that will absolutely not harm anything unless it is strictly for survival purposes now. When this thing made that terrifying growl, it was as if it was saying, "Hey buddy, I don't know you and you don't know me, but as long as you stick to your side of the fence, I'll stick to mine." This happened nearly a mile from my house. I haven't ever came across anything like that ever in my life, and I'd much prefer not to. It could have easily jerked me out of the car and tore me to shreds, but it chose not to. I want to know more about this creature, but I don't think I want to be anywhere as close as to what I was. Can't say it was or wasn't a Dogman, but I can say it's the first I'd ever experienced anything like that. You're welcome to share my story, but please don't share my name. Just don't know how anyone would take this story, but I'm concerned how close this thing is setting up residence to where I live. Alright guys, so hopefully my friend here and fellow subscriber, who you guys have probably communicated with many times, will hear this, and maybe he heard JJ's encounter last night, and maybe that'll help him come on the show. I'd like him to come on, and I'd like the gentleman wolf to come on. That was the first encounter from South Carolina. Also, I'd like the subscriber from the second encounter to come on and kind of fill in the blanks. I know it's hard when you're writing your encounter down. It's not as well worded when you're writing rather than speaking it. So if that's anything that you guys are willing to do, reach back out to me. You guys have my emails, and I don't know. I know that I did correspond with JJ today, and she has turned a new leaf over. She said that she felt a lot better, like there was a rock lifted off her chest. And that's truly amazing, you know, and it's nothing I did. It's everything she did by sharing her encounter. And I think that's truly awesome. And for those who commented and supported her, good for you. And, you know, I'm just glad that there are so many supportive people out there. And unfortunately, there are a couple assholes out there that like to just be pricks. Anyway, what else was I going to say? I've not heard anything back from Victor. I did email that at CIA.gov email address. I actually tried to back check it and got nowhere. Which leads me to believe that it is legit. I also messaged Victor today and got nothing. So I'd like to just have a brief moment of silence for us to either remember or pray that he is safe or comes back to us. Let's just have that moment of silence right now, very quickly. And with that, guys, I want to bid everyone farewell.